Hello, it's Leona Bussey again, and we're gonna start reviewing how to structure file storage. Last video we talked about scanning all of our files, paper files that we had, and now we're gonna talk about how to organize them. This is my family tree, so if you notice, my maiden name is Richardson. So to start the organization of files, under the desktop, I named my main directory LER, which represents Leona Eileen Richardson. So underneath that, you will see my mother and father directories. Then you'll see some supplemental directories that I use, and then you'll see some other things and some scan files that I haven't named yet. And this is a good place for forums for you to see them and be reminded that there's still work to be done. But as far as the naming convention, we'll go into my father. And if you see the plus sign, just tells me that I've gotten all the files I have in that directory renamed to the naming convention that I'm using. So the way I work it is the first A stands for the male, the father, my father. So my mother would start with a B. So father is A and mother is B. So the second A would represent my grandfather. So we have AA, and he's at generation 0. So you start with your grandparents because they will split out and there will be lots of generations after that. So my grandfather is AA0, and all the Richardson maiden name or given name Richardson files will be underneath that directory. Now, like I said, my father's father would be AA. My father's mother would be AB. My mother's father would be BA, and my mother's mother would be BB. So that's the starting convention of the directory naming. So each generation after my grandfather will be in numerical order. So if we're looking at AA1, Rohan, which is two different spellings that we use throughout the generations, they changed their name when one of the sons got convicted, and I believe he got hung for being a horse thief. So they changed their name to Rohan, which would have been the latest spelling of their name. Then this would be a female that married a Richardson. So if we go over here, we see, get my mouse, we see the Dora Rohan, which would be my great grandmother, my grandfather's mother, married a Richardson. So she's generation 1. And then for my grandmother, if we were looking at my grandmother, her mother would be generation 1, would be Carver. So it would be AB1 would be Carver. And then all the Tamir's names followed through in the Tamir directory. All right. So if we go one step farther to AA2, so you see there's 2 females introduced in the second generation. Like I said, all the Richardsons would be the males. And then also we would have a Richardson male and a Rohan male, which would all be underneath the Richardson and Rohan surnames. So if we come over here, we have AA2 Jones, which is married to a Richardson. So we come back over here and we have AA2 Jones is married to a Richardson. And then over here we have AA2 Smith is married to the Rohan. So we come back over here. AA2 Smith is married to a Rowan, and I should probably put a comma and a Rohan just to keep it consistent. All right. So if we go back over here, and we go one generation farther in the Richardson, we will see that I have another Smith. So that's another good reason to call out who the females are married to, is because I run into this, which Smith is the right Smith. So same with Jones, and there's other surnames that have more than one name in the family tree. So Tamurs especially, I mean, you know, the French like to stick close to their kind. So we'll get into that in later videos. But so if we go over here, she would be generation AA2, right? So she's married to John, which is the first Richardson in the county that migrated to the county that I was born in. So we go over here in AA3, we see a Smith married to a Richardson. And if you notice, you have 1, 0, you have 1 generation 1, you have 2 generation 2s, you should have 4 generation 3s, and so on. They're just going to double as they go on down. So that's how I have named my directories in a methodical way. And if you understand this way, then you are doing good. But if you don't understand it and you would like to understand it more, you can email me. My email is available on my channel, and we can discuss it further, or I can help you understand it with your family names. So this is the second part of file maintenance, or file structure, file storage structure. I'll see you next time.